The internal investigation is ongoing, but the police commissioner today all but confirmed the findings.
An officer or the organisation potentially has failed to notify the parole board of a potential parole breach.
That mistake, which could amount to neglect of duty, allowed a known rapist to allegedly sexually assault a 7-year-old girl.
It makes me sick in the guts. I think the whole community feels that way.
In Parliament, the Premier went further.
Getting it wrong may have resulted in the most terrible of circumstances, and we're deeply, deeply sorry.
Today's soul-searching from politicians and police came after stinging headlines, which obviously hurt.
This could just be the tip of the iceberg. How many other people like this monster are out on the streets now?
The failings in this case amount to a police officer ignoring a woman's complaint last month, which allowed convicted rapist Anthony Sampieri to walk the streets and allegedly attack the 7-year-old girl in the toilets of a Cogra dance studio. The senior constable's career is currently on hold. He's been stood aside, but dismissal looks almost certain if the internal investigation confirms what his boss intimated today.
He is stressed and he is concerned, and we are still giving him, as you would want, welfare services.
Police had promised a speedy outcome to an inquiry no one ever wanted. Damien Ryan, NBN News.
Overseas now, and a 31-year-old British academic has been sentenced to life in prison in the United Arab Emirates, accused of spying for the UK. Matthew Hedges firmly denies the claims. British Prime Minister Theresa May has pledged to help.
We are, of course, as he is, deeply disappointed and concerned at today's verdict. We are raising it with the Emirati authorities at the highest level.
Hedges' wife says he was on a 2-week trip researching the Arab Spring when he was arrested at Dubai airport.
A mother has thrown her baby from the 3rd floor window of a burning building in the US city of Dallas. Thankfully, the child landed safely in the arms of a man standing below as other residents leapt from their units.
A never-before-seen interview with Michael Schumacher has been released by his family. Filmed just 2 months before his tragic 2013 skiing accident, the Formula One great reflects candidly on his career.
Felt I'm not good enough. I need to work on myself, and I guess that was one of the recipe that made me what I became.
Schumacher remains at his home in Switzerland. His family has kept his condition largely secret.
Duchesses Kate and Meghan have gone on royal duty, visiting 2 London charities. For the mum-to-be, it was a return to what's become a passion project, a kitchen that's helped survivors of the Grenfell Tower fire.
They're the sisters-in-law, doing it by themselves. Meghan and Kate, both in Burgundy, both out in London at charities close to their heart. The future Queen at a neuroscience laboratory. Meghan at a community kitchen. And amid hugs and laughter, the Duchess of Sussex was congratulated on her now noticeable baby bump. This is where volunteers cooked for the community after the horrifying Grenfell fire. Meghan's been coming to help since she moved to London.
It's about the gathering that we agreed to doing the recipes, and again, we just said we're getting that simple reminder of
Meghan launched the group's cookbook in September. Since then, it's sold nearly 40,000 copies, made $370,000, and will fund even more outreach programs. The Duchess of Sussex may be working here in London, but her pregnancy is affecting official travel. Prince Harry is off to Africa next week, while Meghan will remain here at Kensington Palace. At least she now seems to have a few British friends to keep her company. And of course, there's her next-door neighbour, Kate. Michael Best, NBN News.
It's a life-changing medical breakthrough that needs to be seen to be believed. A Sydney nun who suffered from a severe tremor has become symptom-free thanks to a new procedure that doesn't require a single incision.
Sister Carmel Smith still can't believe her remarkable transformation.
Beyond my wildest dreams.
The 74-year-old Sydney nun has struggled with an uncontrollable tremor all her adult life, affecting her ability to drink or properly control a pen.
Eating, drinking, writing can all be very badly affected.
Carmel is the first in the Southern Hemisphere to undergo this procedure at St Vincent's Hospital. Called MRI guided focused ultrasound, it doesn't involve any incision or invasive implants.
This is going to revolutionise the treatment of particularly tremor conditions.
Ultrasound energy is used to heat up to 60 degrees Celsius a tiny section of the brain called the thalamus. It targets only a few millimetres of brain tissue, creating a small lesion to disrupt the abnormal signals causing the tremor. Minutes after the procedure, the results were overwhelming.
Hallelujah.
Congratulations.
She's symptom-free with only a tiny lesion visible on her scan. Currently, this technology has been used to treat essential tremor, but down the track it could be used for Parkinson's disease and for those with neuropathic pain.
I just hope that those young doctors can teach a lot of other young doctors, because there's so many people that need this.
Gabriella Rogers, NBN News.
To finance, and the Australian stock market clawed back yesterday's losses, with the All Ords finishing up nearly 50 points. Wesfarmers shares continued their fall, down 2%, while Woolworths was up slightly. The major banks were also higher. To commodities, and gold is up, oil is trading lower. And the Australian dollar is down against the US dollar, the euro and the yen.
It's a network of termite mounds so big it can be seen from space. Researchers have discovered the gigantic complex of 200 million mounds in northeast Brazil. They believe it could be up to 4,000 years old and cover an area the size of Great Britain. You counted them. That's impressive, isn't it?
You wouldn't want to build a house near them.
Nowhere near it. It's time for sport now with Mitch Hughes.
And Mitch, a new face or two in the Australian Test team.
Absolutely, and one will get top billing. Thanks, team. Coming up after the break, Marcus Harris set to open the batting against India. And Triple Eight's treat for the retiring Craig Lowndes.
Smashing. Hungry Jack's Grill Master's thick, juicy flame grilled Angus. With cheese, bacon, spicy chipotle sauce and crispy fried jalapenos. Hungry Jack's new Grill Master's Spicy Chipotle.
We've been busily preparing so you can share the Christmas spirit.
Welcome to Norco Country. Here at Norco, we know it's hard to improve on natural perfection, but with our finest range, Norco's fresh, delicious milk just got even better.
On you girls.
High in cream, protein and taste, we're proud to say it's the best milk we've ever made. And when you buy a bottle of Norco milk, you're 100% supporting our local Norco dairy farmers.
Oh, it doesn't get any better than this.
Norco, 100% Aussie dairy farmer owned since 1895, and now available at Coles.
Need a win? 24 cheesy nuggets. Winner. For just $10. Now that's winner winner. Red Rooster.
Suspension tuned for tough Australian conditions. 3.5 tonnes of brakes towing capacity and huge payload. There's nothing you can't do. Nissan Navara. Powerful, made clever.
Harvey Norman, amazing deals. Super savings store-wide, plus 16 months interest-free. No deposit, no interest with 60 equal monthly payments until November 2023. This is your call to action. Get in quick to score a knockout deal. Super hot prices, massive range, all the big brands, everything you want and need under one roof. Plus 60 months interest-free. Get in store or get online. We'll make it easy this Christmas. Amazing deals. Super savings. Now at Harvey Norman. Be quick before they're gone.
Experience smooth, creamy milk chocolate. Perfectly blended with rich cocoa. Cadbury Dark Milk.
Australia's cricket selectors appear fed up with the stuttering performances of recent times, today choosing 2 fresh faces for the 4-test series against India. At the top of the list, new opening batsman Marcus Harris, who forced his way in by averaging 87 in Sheffield Shield.
Bat in hand and in the proudest polo shirt he's ever worn after taking a call from the chairman of selectors.
All I remember was he said, "You're in the 10."
6-year-old Marcus Harris reuniting with his former coach at Western Australia, Justin Langer.
Yeah, he texted me just before. He just said, "Welcome to..."
Langer's words haven't always been so kind. 2 years ago, labelling Harris as mediocre.
He'd get 20. I want to shake him every time. I want to shake him because I'm saying, mate, you're getting 20s. That's mediocre. You're 20 mediocre.
It didn't really wind me up too much with what he said. So, like I've said a few times, we had a really good meeting when I left WA, and I know that we ended on good terms.
Also in Australia's 14-man squad, batsmen Peter Hanscom and Travis Head, uncapped bowler Chris Tremaine, and the evergreen Peter Siddle. Usman Khawaja's overcome a knee injury, but was in no mood to elaborate.
Physically, do you feel like you're sort of, you're back to where you need to be?
What do you mean?
Just with the injury?
How so?
Do you feel like you're back to full fitness?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be flying if I wasn't feeling that I could play a game.
Steve Smith was at New South Wales training just days after the severity of his 12-month ban was upheld.
Pretty disappointed. I think he was hopeful of that getting lifted, but I mean, to be honest, I think he's just over it.
And Australia's gone 1-0 up in their 3-match T20 series against India, winning Game 1 by 4 runs. Rob Canning, NBN News.